At 45 years old, Kimmi Scott has reached a moment in her life that has left fans emotional, her family protective, and her supporters curious about what comes next. For years, people have watched Kimmi on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, and they have admired her calm spirit, her ability to bring peace in the middle of chaos, and her way of balancing work, family, and reality TV without losing her grace. But now, she is facing a chapter that is heavier than anything viewers have ever seen on the show. It is not just another storyline about friendships or business deals. This is real life, and it is painful, raw, and deeply personal. The news that came out about Kimmi shocked fans everywhere. Nobody expected that the woman who always seemed so strong and collected would be carrying such a heartbreaking truth. It is the kind of truth that not only shakes a person's world but also ripples through her family, her marriage, and even the cast of the show. What makes this moment even more emotional is the way fans are seeing Kimmi differently now. She has always been a cornerstone of Love and Marriage, Huntsville. From the very beginning, Kimmi stood out because she was not chasing drama, she was not loud, and she was not desperate for the spotlight. Instead, she came in with a strong work ethic, a calm nature, and a realness that made people connect with her. She was a nurse, a mother, and a businesswoman before she was ever a reality star. That balance gave fans a reason to respect her. But now, at 45, Kimmi is dealing with something that has made even her strongest supporters pause. For many, it feels like the heart of the show is hurting, and the audience is hurting with her. Kimmi's journey has always been more than what happens in front of the cameras. People have watched her raise her son Jalen while also stepping into the role of stepmother in her marriage with Maurice. They have seen her work hard in nursing while also supporting Maurice's law career and their family businesses. They have watched her stay calm when castmates argued, choosing wisdom over petty drama. That is why so many fans are finding this chapter so emotional. If Kimmi, the one who often reminded everyone else to stay grounded, is now facing something this heavy, then it reminds people that even the strongest ones are not invincible. When the news came out that Kimmi was facing a personal health crisis, fans were stunned. Many had never seen her so vulnerable. On the show, she had revealed her diagnosis, and the moment was powerful. Instead of hiding it, she spoke with courage about what she was dealing with, the fear that came with it, and the way it affected her family. That openness hit fans in a very personal way. Social media lit up with messages of support. People shared stories of their own loved ones facing similar battles. Hashtags like prayers for Kimmi began trending. Viewers who usually tune in for drama were now tuning in to show love, to send hope, and to stand by her. It became one of those rare times in reality TV when the entertainment part faded, and the humanity took center stage. For Maurice, the news was not just hard, it was life-changing. Fans have always seen Maurice and Kimmi as one of the stronger couples on the show. They had disagreements like any marriage, but overall, they seemed to have a balance built on respect. But as anyone knows, when a serious health crisis enters a relationship, it tests the bond in ways no one can prepare for. Maurice had to step into a new role. He was no longer just Kimmi's husband, partner, and friend, he now had to be her caretaker, her protector, and her emotional rock. For a man who had leaned on Kimmi's strength for so long, this was a heavy shift. But to his credit, fans noticed how much he showed up for her. In interviews, Kimmi herself admitted that she saw a deeper side of Maurice during this time, and her love for him grew because of how much he stood firm when things got difficult. Her son Jalen also became a key part of her support system. For a young man who was used to seeing his mother as strong, independent, and unshakable, it was tough to see her in a vulnerable position. Kimmi worried deeply about how her diagnosis would affect him. She feared the emotional weight it would bring, wondering if it would make him feel helpless or scared. But Jalen showed maturity beyond his years. He stepped up, reminding his mom that she did not have to carry the burden alone. Fans watching this part of the show couldn't help but admire the closeness of their family. It became clear that even though the news was heartbreaking, it was also pulling them together in a way that was powerful to see. Behind the scenes, things were complicated. Filming a reality show while dealing with such a private struggle is something most people cannot imagine. Every conversation, every tear, and every vulnerable moment had the weight of cameras around it. For Kimmy, this was a choice she made on purpose. She explained that hiding it would feel dishonest. For years, she had built a reputation on being real and authentic, so pretending everything was fine would have been against who she was. Still, not everyone agreed with her choice. Some people close to her questioned if it was too much to share. But for Kimmy, it was never about ratings, it was about truth. She wanted her story to mean something, to inspire someone else who might be fighting a similar battle in silence. The impact on the show was huge. Viewers suddenly saw the cast in a different light. The fights, the gossip, and the drama seemed smaller when compared to what Kimmy was going through. Even her castmates, who sometimes clashed with her or Maurice, rallied around her. Melody showed support. Marsau and Letitia showed care. Even Martel, often caught in controversy, showed empathy. For fans, it was powerful to see the cast unite for something real. It reminded people that beyond the cameras, these are real human beings with real struggles. The audience reactions were some of the most emotional in the show's history. On Twitter and Instagram, people said they cried watching her speak about her diagnosis. Others said they were inspired to schedule health checkups for themselves after hearing Kimmy's story. Some fans even shared that seeing her vulnerability gave them courage to open up about their own health struggles. In this way, Kimmy's story went far beyond entertainment. It was saving lives, encouraging people, and starting conversations that often stay hidden. The way the producers handled it also stood out. Normally, reality TV thrives on drama, but with Kimmy's story, the editing took a respectful approach. More time was spent on her doctor visits, her quiet talks with Maurice, and her reflections on life. Instead of focusing only on conflict, the show leaned into her testimony. The ratings proved that fans were not just there for fights, they were there for real, meaningful storytelling. Episodes centered on Kimmy drew huge attention, not because of scandal, but because people wanted to see her strength. Even with all the support, Kimmy's journey was not easy. She spoke openly about the sleepless nights, the fear of the unknown, and the toll it took on her emotionally. For someone who was always calm and steady, it was difficult for her to admit when she was scared. But that honesty is exactly what made fans love her even more. She showed that strength is not about pretending everything is fine. It is about admitting when you are afraid and still finding the courage to keep going. Over time, fans started to view Kimmy as more than just a reality star. She became a symbol of survival, resilience, and truth. Even publications outside of the show picked up her story. Outlets like Essence and The Shade Room highlighted her bravery, which brought more attention to Love and Marriage, Huntsville. People who had never watched the show before were now tuning in because of Kimmy. Her story touched hearts far beyond Huntsville, proving that her impact reached well outside of reality TV. As her journey continues, one thing is clear, Kimmy's life has changed, but her role as an inspiration has grown even stronger. Fans are not just watching to see who is arguing with who or which couple is fighting about business. They are watching to see how Kimmy is doing, how she is healing, and how her family is standing with her. Her story has shifted the entire tone of the show and has reminded people that reality TV can be more than drama. It can be about real life, real pain, and real hope.